Our schedule is really flexible. It helps you a lot with your learning.
The Flex project is just a way of thinking. It's a way of approaching problems. It's your underlying processes for the way you do things. It's not really about what you do or necessarily even how you do it.
We can now start looking at our timetable, be a little more creative, knowing that we don't have to timetable 125 hours. We just got to concern ourselves with, can the student by the end of June demonstrate these abilities? Now we've taken a step back and we look at the student learning first and see how the timetable can be adjusted around the student's needs.
They have created a situation where the students see the relationship between subjects and the relevance of these subjects to their lives.
I see myself as more of a mentor of young people rather than just the traditional teaching role.
Because we don't have that idea of time is equivalent to good learning, I think what it forces you to do is go back and analyze the program of studies and look at the curriculum and actually say what is important.
We do a lot of cross-curricular subjects. We do a lot of cross-curricular grades. We intertwine different strands. And the reason we can do that is we've spent a tremendous amount of time breaking down the curriculum as teachers.
I'm always very aware of reflecting every day. What's happening? What can we do better?
It really creates a culture of passionate people, right from the administrators through the teachers, through our EAs in the building who are also doing amazing things, right down to the students. I think that's the real measure. If you can watch a group of students who are working together when there's not an adult present, you know that learning is really going on and then you know the students are engaged.
I think project-based, you're really able to expand in areas that interest you and you don't get bogged down a lot by the stuff that doesn't necessarily interest you.
So we not only learn it by sitting there and doing and listening to them, but we learn it through our eyes.
Since we've been involved in the Flexibility Project, it's very much project-based learning. So instead of just doing a teaching section and a testing section, we focus based a lot more on kids showing us what they can know, showing us what they can apply, which is much more similar to the workforce.
I just find that when they're not limited to what I teach them or what they feel they need to learn, they'll drive their own learning, and that they'll go a little bit further and they'll seek things that they're interested in.
I have a very atypical personality, and so to relinquish the control to the students was hard. But after I did, I found that my spare time to help them outside the classroom opened up greatly. I had a lot more time on my hands. I saw them producing their own learning, and I was more facilitating it. They're not getting all the information from me anymore, and that's really important. I think they're able to kind of guide their own learning, and I think that's been a huge change for me. I feel like I can breathe a little bit easier.
We do relinquish some control to the students, but it is control over what they're doing at a given time, or perhaps how they're doing something. In the end, though, the teacher is still responsible for the program of studies, and if anything, we've set the bar higher, because we can have a high expectation, being that we're working towards mastery, and we often demand things be done again or be done better. So we have a program of studies that we follow. Of course, it's the same as it is for the rest of the province, but we're able to personalize the learning approach to the student. Some students need more help in certain areas. Some students like to be more independent and to work at different speeds, and we can embrace that.
We know the curriculum very well. We know it inside and out. We are very purposeful and deliberate with the I can statements that we have chosen, and we know exactly where we're headed in the curriculum. And I think that that's led us on a clear path.
I remember one of my students who was very, very, very gifted, and he could take it to that level without being removed from the class or given anything extra, because I think when it's project work, that students find their levels. And so the student who's really engaged and really wants to go that deeply can go that deeply. So having that flexible mindset and that flexible approach allows for all of those different levels to flourish at the same time.
We are a family atmosphere here. Because we work in teams and the kids work in teams, not just with their own isolated grade level, but also with cross-curricular, cross-grade level, they become a family. And they realize who has strengths, who has weaknesses, who can help them, not just among teachers, but as well as among peers. And so the questions become a little more informal at times because they're allowed to approach us on the level that they need the help on, as opposed to levels that we expect them.